All right. Well, it says we're preparing. I think we're live.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hans Voss with the Groundwork Center, and I am here with Chef Loghan Call from Planted Cuisine. Hey, Loghan.
Hey, Hans.
Glad we're connecting here, man. This is an exciting conversation that we're sharing with the rest of the world because the Groundworks Harvest event has been underway now for almost 10 years. And this year, rather than having 650 people under a tent in an in-person party, we've done a transition to bring the harvest event into people's homes and kitchens. And when we started planning this, we were planning the in-person event, but we've made a major pivot, and you are going to shift to helping people create beautiful, locally grown meals in their living rooms, in their kitchens, and sharing with their family and friends. So I'm happy to hear about how this is going to happen. This is I imagine, somewhat of a new thing for you and all of us involved. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about that, Loghan. Tell me first, though, about you and how you got into food and being a chef.
That's a long-winded journey. Try and keep that one short. I've been very fortunate to have an incredible mom in my life who raised my brother and I on 5 acres and kind of instilled farm to table from the time I was born, really. And so
where was that farm, Loghan?
So this was in upstate New York, middle of nowhere, upstate New York in the Hudson Valley. So food has always been a really important part of my life. My first career was in broadcast journalism and media, and always wanted to make a difference and wasn't feeling it in that industry. Went back and studied sustainability. And it was there that I just really connected with food and the impact that it has. You know, we're all, for most of us, fortunate enough to be eating 3 meals a day, so it has a real impact. And so I pivoted and been doing food for the last 6 years and really gone down this path of connecting community through food. That's really kind of where I like to land in all of this is how can we bring people together through food, through healthy food. And was fortunate enough to land here in Traverse, and where food and agriculture is so important. And it's just this incredible melting pot of talent here within food and ag. So what better place? And of course, Groundwork as the Harvest Gathering has done such an amazing job of once a year bringing people together through local food. So my journey has been winding, but the central component has always been about how can I make a difference through the lens of food, and how to bring community together and all walks of life together through the importance of local healthy food.
Right on. Thank you for that. And I will say that you've landed just so softly and beautifully in our Traverse City community. You've just connected and contributed and created, and I just think it's a real testament to your spirit of joining community and helping to strengthen and build a place that was already in a pretty good spot. I think you've made it a lot stronger. So it's great to have you. It's great to have you as part of our Harvest event, which, by the way, is October 10th, coming up pretty soon, Saturday, October 10th. And for the participants, there's all kinds of different ways to get involved. But one thing is to just chart out on your calendar 7 p.m. October 10th and link up on a computer screen from your home and be prepared for a lot of fun. We're going to really create a connected community experience that's unique and fun, and nothing like a Zoom meeting, much more like a gathering of people sharing one big local food meal and good music and fun fundraising things for Groundwork. So your challenge has been to envision a menu and help people source and prepare local food in their homes for one big connected meal. Tell us, Loghan, how is that going to go?
I think it's going to go really, really well. There's no denying that it's a lot of coordination and a lot of details and a lot of things to bring together. But that's part of the amazing part of having a strong community is everybody is immediately rallied around this harvest at home concept as Miriam and I have been reaching out to our different community partners. So, one of the things that I think became a real central theme for a lot of folks during the pandemic was cooking at home, and like many small businesses, I think a lot of farmers in the beginning were kind of nervous. They lost a lot of restaurant accounts, for instance, and one of the main things that came out of it was CSA shares, community supported agriculture, kind of like a weekly or monthly farm box, if you will, from local farms, really took off, and folks from around the community have been really outpouring in their support of these types of CSA programs. And so when we were thinking about how can we create a harvest at home experience, taking a CSA share as the starting point, and the Michigan Farm Co-op is fantastic because it combines multiple talents from the farming community. So using that box as this central point, and we're going to have folks pick this box up at the farmers market. So we'll be able to, kind of say hi to everybody, and there'll be that connection point still, which is great. The farmers market has been fantastic about, reorienting and still being able to have a market through almost the entire pandemic, which has been great. So the CSA box is going to be just completely filled up. I mean, we got bread, we got produce, we have like Fusinis, we have grocer's daughter, chocolate. I mean, there's so much in there. And so I think when people go to pick this box up, it might be like, wow, this is a lot. This is a commitment I just made. And, Miriam and I have been working hard. We are going to have video content showing you how to make every single dish and work through every ingredient in the box. We're going to be talking about the health benefits of these certain ingredients, how to make them really sing in the kitchen. And the main component here, and wanting to create the harvest at home experience, obviously harvest typically has many courses. It's a real food experience. We're like, well, how do we, the main thing was how do we create nearly that many courses, but also making sure you can do it at home. So these recipes and the techniques, the equipment needed to pull it off is very minimal. And that was really the main thing we were shooting for was when creating a recipe, was not only making it hyper local and delicious, but totally doable, and hopefully a source of inspiration to do it on a more regular basis moving forward.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about it. Thank you for bringing your knowledge and creativity to this, and adaptability. So just to be clear though, the idea is if you live in Northern Michigan, you can go to the farmer's market on Saturday, the day of the event, in the morning, and pick up basically all the ingredients that you need for the meal to prepare later that day. It's all compiled. It's from local farms through Michigan Farm Co-op and other partners like Fusinis and Grocer's Daughter, and Nine Bean is going to do the bread. And it's like one meal, all fresh, all local for that evening.
Yeah, that's right. So the box itself, like if you are local and you sign up for this CSA share, I mean, we're teeing this up for you 100%. But the great news is that it doesn't matter where you are. I know that Groundwork supporters are all over the place. We are also compiling a shopping list that hopefully is totally manageable to be able to knock out in your one local grocery store, supermarket, co-op, whatever you might have. So the ability to be able to follow along is doable no matter where you live. And again, we're also going to be releasing these recipe videos ahead of time, so you know exactly kind of the steps that are needed and the techniques. So regardless of where you live, we have you covered. And it's going to be fun to know that folks will be tuning in from all over and kind of connecting through this shared food experience, and everybody's going to be kind of enjoying the same meal together as the harvest programming takes place.
That's tremendous. And one of our partners to help people find and source local food is Taste of Local Difference, which already has an incredible database that can help anyone in Michigan find where to find their local ingredients. So that will be a nice element as well. Okay, so you've planned and executed a lot of local meals, but this is a little different because you've got a broad audience and you're not making it, you're guiding others to it. So you can't go full Loghan. You got to dial it back a little bit because Loghan, by the way, gets into some really interesting, creative, artistic food. I'm sure there'll be all those components in this meal too. But how did you go about planning it, and what's it going to be, man? What's it going to be?
Yeah, again, the baseline for the planning was to come up with something that was simple enough to execute in the own home kitchen, but still taking the concepts that I use in my cuisine overall. So really highlighting the plant kingdom. Everything that I do is plant-based, but I like to thread that needle between what is usually known as that healthy plant-based food, which can sometimes lack flavor. Mm-hmm. and be too healthy, it's just a bunch of greens. And then you have like the unhealthy, like let's mimic meat and everything. And I like to thread the needle of let's create some really delicious plant-based cuisine that is also pretty simple. So for instance, one of the sides that we're doing is we have just coming into season right now are these beautiful blue Adirondack potatoes. Of course, if you don't have blue potatoes, you can use any potatoes, but everybody likes a good like potato wedge, roasted potato wedge. So we're going to be roasting those up in kind of a signature thing that I've done in a lot of different dinners and cooking classes is making an aioli sauce using turnips instead of dairy products. And it's something that at face value, you're like, what? I think you might pull out their recipe card and look at turnip aioli and probably think it might be a typo, but this is one of these recipes that is super, super simple to execute in your own home kitchen. It's going to blow you away at how delicious it is. And it's just using turnips as a base and using a local produce to turn something really magical, from a vegetable I think a lot of folks might not be aware of or might not even have tried. And it's a really delicious end result. So that's like an example of one of the sides that we're doing. It doesn't take that long to prepare. We are going to do bread course. Has always been a component of harvest. And as you had mentioned, we have here locally 9 bean rose bread that we're really excited about. We have a fall salad. So highlighting kind of the root vegetables and apples that are coming into season in that fall salad. Both with the bread and the salad, we're going to be featuring Fusinis, olive oils, and vinegars, which if you're in the area, I'm sure you're aware, Fusinis is just fantastic. The quality that they bring to olive oil and vinegars is incredible. They also use local products. For instance, we're going to be featuring Ironfish's barrel-aged honey vinegar, a collaboration between Fusinis and Ironfish. So trying to work in these community collaborations and partnerships as much as possible into the menu is a signature component of what Planted Cuisine always is doing, is how many local purveyors and partners and folks can we get into one menu. I really like to showcase the bounty of Michigan. I always talk about how Michigan is the second most agriculturally diverse state in the nation, which always kind of surprises people. But I think it's an opportunity when creating a menu to showcase that. Our entree is called the Mitten Bowl. So we're trying to stuff as many Michigan sourced products into that as possible. So even the menu names are indicative of our region. The Mitten Bowl. Love it. And so dessert, we're going to be featuring Grocer's Daughter, which I use them constantly in dessert creations that I come up with. There's just the sourcing of cacao that they have is incredible. And really it's about highlighting the difference in really incredible products and growing practices from our farmers and purveyors and showing what that quality from those who are really doing business in agriculture the right way. It's an opportunity for me. I always like to say I'm just the conveyor for the hard work of others, just really showcasing the talent and hard work of farmers and producers here in this area. So that's really what the menu is all about. So, you know, when you bring that box home or you go shop and through TLD, pick up these items, you're gonna come home and unpack a plethora of just incredible, delicious products. You know, it's exciting. And when I do cooking classes with people and show them these different products, they're always blown away by the difference between that and, you know, something mass produced from a supermarket. So I think that's really one of the things that I hope everybody walks away from is like, wow, that was totally worth a few hours in the kitchen.
Amen. Nice. Well, I have a few perspectives and a few more questions on this, but I want to just check in to let everyone know, if you're tuning in as we go here, that with me is Loghan Call from Planted Cuisine, who's in his home in Traverse City, who is our chef and creative leader around the Harvest at Home event coming up on October 10th, which is designed to move our Groundwork Harvest event into your home. And a big part of that is going to be a locally sourced meal that you have encouragement and resources to create in your own home. And when it comes to cooking, you know, we all come at it differently. And I, for one, like to plan way ahead. I like to practice, you know. I get kind of obsessed with the recipe like 2 weeks out, and I kind of adjust and prepare. And I love that planning and anticipation. So next week, recipes start to be shared, and videos, tutorials on cooking instruction and preparation are going to be coming out from Loghan over our email line and on YouTube. So that's pretty exciting. And one other thing that's interesting to me, well, I guess I'll encourage everyone who's thinking about this, because we're all busy, to, you know, instead of just making dinner like we do, and we make dinner in different ways in our homes, this is a chance to really plan in a careful, thoughtful way, and really tune into the source of your vegetables and your food, and go a few steps above normal. And you know, not everyone does that, and people do it differently. But I think, why not on October 10th and the days leading up to it, you know, just set aside and say, you know, I'm going to make that meal something really special, something really memorable, even if it's just you and your partner or a small group of, you know, people in your life. There's just something special about taking the time to, you know, put on a top quality local meal in your own home. And wouldn't it be some universal energy we're creating if we have hundreds of people all doing the same meal, and we're connected online, and we're thinking about ways of sharing photos of the meal, having some interaction during the event itself. So it is a community event. So if you're thinking about it, you know, carve out some time and lean in and create something beautiful. Share it with your loved ones, and feel the appreciation of the farmers and the people in the food system, and Chef Loghan's artistic advice on how to do it. So one thing I want to ask you is, you know, I wasn't sure about how significant the fact that it's a plant-based meal is compared to a, you know, a meat, one with meat or other dairy products. And because some people cook with plants all the time, some people have, you know, a little bit of mix in their diet, but some people eat meat like every day for dinner. And that's just the way they live. You know, there's you know, I'll say my father-in-law, I don't think he considers it dinner unless there's a piece of animal on the plate. And, you know, he comes over to our house, he kind of looks around, he's like, well, what's for dinner? I'm like, well, we got beans, we got, you know, potatoes, we got greens. So, you know, I think it's kind of a good sign when we're not making a big deal out of the fact that there's no meat on the plate. But I also think it's an opportunity for folks who have an expectation of you know, animal products in their food, their dinner, to have a new experience. So I just wonder if you have any insight in like helping carnivores take a few steps in a new direction and just try something out, and how you've encountered that in your work over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, and certainly one I get all the time in doing what I do with being strictly plant-based in the cuisine that I do. But as you kind of mentioned and alluded to, I never really put that at the forefront. I always just say that I create good food, and I create locally sourced food. And it's one of those things where I think at this point, for the most part, all of us have the awareness of the need to cut back to some degree on animal products, and at the very least just feature more vegetables and fruits and whole grains in our diet. And I think one of the great things about going 100% plant-based in a meal is oftentimes we're presented with menus or options where there's always going to be some dairy or animal product in there. And for those of us who are eating those products, it's comforting and it's familiar, and it's what, so it's kind of what we crave and what we desire. So by eliminating it completely for just one meal, it's an opportunity to see what it's like, and see how you react and how your body reacts. And so that's really what my approach has always been. It's one meal, and I'm not going to talk to you about trying to convert you, or if that's not a desire at all. It's really just about showcasing how you can, just through the plant kingdom, have a really satisfying, satiating, delicious food experience. And again, that's kind of the specialty and the niche that I've carved out is how to have some creativity within the plant kingdom to mimic those flavors and those textures and those comfort things that we're all used to, because most of us have or still are consuming plenty of dairy and animal products. So for me, it's a challenge and an opportunity to just really showcase what a completely plant-based meal can be. And again, I think we have these ideas around what veganism, plant-based is, whether it's just this green salad full of spinach that nobody really wants to eat, or it's these highly processed products that are coming out that, so it's threading that needle of, hey, let's take the plant kingdom and all it has to offer, and turn it into something really delicious and creative and fun. And I mean, I've been here in Michigan for about 3 years doing 100% plant-based meals, and I would say 90% of my guests and audiences are carnivores to some degree, and I've never had one person walk away saying they weren't full or weren't satisfied. We have a very high success rate, which is fantastic, and it goes to show you that it's for me, it's just nudging. It's just a little nudge, right? It's just like, hey, we're not even in this. We're not even going to give you the option tonight, and we're going to help you there. We're going to guide you the whole way. It's going to be a really fun experience. It's going to be something new, and I think it's an eye opener for people, because let's face it, we kind of are in a culture where we're told and led to believe that we have to have those products in every single meal. So just a fun opportunity to show something new, and without being aggressive or pushy about it in any way.
I so much appreciate that spirit, Loghan. That's so accessible. It's designed for anyone to hop in and create and explore and try some new things. And your approach just makes it easy and comfortable. There's not a there's no advocacy here. We're just creating something enjoyable that you can share, and I think that really makes it easy to access for a lot of people. So thank you for bringing that to us. The event is October 10th. On our social media and email outreach at Groundwork, you'll be hearing a lot about this event. Lots of things going on. My gosh, it's pretty huge. Putting on the online event is, different than the in-person event, but pretty darn huge. And our friend Miriam is tracking a lot and keeping it all moving. Shout out to Miriam, who's the glue of so much of this great event happening on October 10th. But as a interested party, as a Groundwork supporter, I hope you'll tune in and know that you'll be hearing a lot from us in the coming weeks, including the first video tutorial from Loghan next week. So you can practice. If you're a over preparer like me, you can get it together with the turnip aioli, which is going to be exciting. I've never had that. I'm excited about that. And all the stuff that you described, especially apples. This is the moment in our year to really enjoy the apples. I'm glad they're going to be in the salad. That's going to be exciting. And all our partners and the companies and farmers that are contributing, the sponsors of the event. I mean, it is a community event, and we really hope and believe that we can create that online community event with real significance and real meaning. And for us as an organization, we're pulling out all the stops to do something special. And I think, Loghan, your involvement and your holding down the food side is giving us nothing but confidence and excitement. So thank you for bringing yourself to this. We're excited. You'll be hearing a lot more from Loghan in the coming weeks. And if you have any questions, I'm easy to reach. We can make sure Logan's contact info is out there in case you get in a fix and you need a little assistance. And it's an open platform for engagement. So any final thoughts before we wrap this up, Loghan?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely hit the nail on the head, but I would just say that, it's what a wonderful opportunity that, Groundworks and you guys are creating. I mean, I think we talk a lot about what it goes into creating, whether it's in person or this type of thing. But it really is. I mean, there's a lot of work that has gone into creating an opportunity for anybody to participate in such a community gathering. And there's just so many touch points that are happening here throughout our community, not only in bringing people together, but the support that you're going to be providing to so many different businesses and farms and producers simply by engaging with us in this Harvest at Home food event is pretty incredible. And that's what I'm really excited about, is that the ripple effects from this event, I think, are endless, really. And that's what really has me excited. It's what has me always excited to work with Groundworks is you guys are so connected and tied into the community, and Planted Cuisine bringing in the resources and the connections that we have. I mean, I think it's just totally dynamite, and I'm just really excited for the lead up to this event with all the content coming out, and then the day of is that's kind of what's cool, is that I think we're putting that much more effort into the lead up and anticipation of it, so that while we might not be under the tent, 650 of us dancing to the fantastic music we're used to, like, it's going to still be something to really anticipate and mark on your calendars and get excited about and really have fun the day of with the food, and then enjoying all of the entertainment during the actual programming as well. So I'm just really excited to be a part of it and to have a blast with everyone.
Fabulous. Dynamite. I love that word. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. You summed it up so beautifully. You'll be hearing a lot more from Loghan. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Loghan. And thank you all for tuning into Groundwork and for joining us on October 10th for Harvest at Home. Have a nice day. Goodbye.